Chase real dopamine. Go for the run. Go outside. Talk to a friend. Journal. Meditate. Read. Go to the gym. Chase real dopamine. Now, if I had to credit one thing for changing my life, it would be discipline. I used to be lazy, distracted all the time. I knew exactly what I had to do, I just didn't feel like doing it. But once you understand how dopamine works, you can actually train your brain to enjoy doing the hard things. Now, when you lower your dopamine baseline, work becomes easier, focus becomes normal, and healthy, productive habits stop feeling forced. And when that happens, life gets a lot simpler. And today I'm gonna share exactly how I made my life so easy and so simple just by doing a dopamine detox in the right way. So while watching this video, do one single thing. Put this video on full screen, remove all distractions, and just watch this video. Now, the sad truth is, everybody's attention span is cooked. Most people can't even focus for more than a minute on anything. And that's the root of the problem. Now let's dive into it. Part number 1, reset time. Yes, right now. Okay, hear me out. This is crazy, but we're gonna do a live dopamine reset, me and you together. Right now, not after this video. You're gonna forget. Let's do it right now. Now, what we're gonna do here is I've set a timer for 30 seconds. 30 seconds of doing absolutely nothing. Let's go. Now, you're gonna feel a slight sense of boredom. You're gonna be wanting to do something right now. 20 seconds. 19, 18. Now, just sit with that boredom. Don't do anything. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. Now that was 30 seconds of boredom. I bet it felt harder than you thought it would. And thing is, most people, they can't even make it 15 seconds without constant stimulation, without doing something, without switching tabs. And that is why you can't focus to build the success that you want. That is why weeks go by and you had all these goals, but you actually achieved nothing. It is the harsh truth. You have these goals, you want to get somewhere, but just like your brain is working against you. And that's what we're here to fix today. You see, instead of fighting against the current and making it harder for yourself, instead, how about we just make it so easy that it just feels natural to focus, to do the deep work, to do the habits, and that is where your dopamine is in the right place. And that's the thing, your brain has been trained to constantly chase cheap dopamine. Now, depending on how you felt throughout that 30 seconds, if you felt like you're just itching to do something, like it was so boring, like, you know, where's the stimulation? Then your dopamine baseline is higher, it is elevated, meaning that it's going to be harder for you to do the deep work, to focus, to do the habits, and to do everything. If you felt like you could just chill and do the 30 seconds with ease, that means your dopamine baseline isn't that bad. Now, comment down below if it was hard or if it was easy. Now, before we move on to part number 2, I just want to say that most people think that they're not where they want to be because of, you know, luck or circumstance or whatever. But the reason why anybody is not where they want to be is just because of discipline. If you can manage to fix that, to fix your discipline, to fix your dopamine and your identity, which all go hand in hand, then everything else will fall into place. And that is exactly the point of this video, so subscribe if you want to make it to the top 1%. Now, part number 2, the real culprit, novelty. Most people, they don't lack discipline. They just try to focus with a brain that never learned how to stay still. Now, there is width and there is depth. Your brain can focus the best when you go in depth into one single task. But the problem is, your brain has been trained to do things at a surface level. You do 100 tasks, and you never really tap into depth because your brain became addicted to switching, addicted to doing things at 20% and then doing something else at 20% and then doing something else at 20%. And you never really allow yourself the flow state to do one single task at 100%. You see, you have a video and then you have a notification and then you have a bit of work and then you have a bit of focus, then a bit of distraction, a bit of focus. And your focus is just scattered, and that's why it feels so hard to achieve something real. Now, channels like Mr. Beast, they are made and designed. The videos are made to just hold your attention for as long as possible. You have constant cuts, constant stimulation. Every 3 seconds, you have a frame that switches. And that's why everybody loves his videos, because they're so stimulating and they're so easy to watch. Now, this video here is not that bad because I do include cuts. I do have cinematic B-roll. I do put music in my videos, but still, your brain has just been trained to always search for something new. Always search for novelty. That's why people open Instagram while watching YouTube. You might be doing that right now. Or that's why people check their phone during a movie. Or switching songs after just 20 seconds. Or waking up immediately and just grabbing your phone. Just feeling mentally foggy all day. Unable to just sit still and do one thing for longer than 20 minutes. If that sounds relatable, then you're in the right place to fix your dopamine system to make your life better, to make discipline so easy that success becomes inevitable. Now, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe. Let's go to part number 3. Training your brain to enjoy effort. Now, the whole fix starts with this. Your brain is addicted to constant input. So the goal here is to break that loop. The loop of just needing to have this constant novelty every 5 minutes. So the goal is to break that loop. And if you can do that, you become more disciplined as a byproduct. The goal is not to be more disciplined. You want to be more disciplined, but being more disciplined is a very vague term. The way you achieve more discipline is, number one, you rewire your dopamine, meaning that you want to effectively lower your dopamine baseline, which makes everything that you have to do more smooth, more fun. The second thing is identity shifting. You always take actions in alignment with the person that you are. So it is about shifting your identity, working on your self-image. So you're just slowly becoming the person who takes action, the action that you want to take. And number 3 is focus mastery, learning how to hone the skill of focus so you can sit down, do your deep work consistently every single day, and you can focus for long enough to build something real. To fix your inputs so you can build that business, scale your income, so you can feel better about yourself, feel more in control of your life, and just experience the bliss of flow state. Now, achieving your goals and fixing your bottlenecks when it comes to focus, procrastination, doom scrolling, wasting your time, fixing those inputs is going to fix the output. And that's where you start to see your life becoming what you want it to become. So to train your brain to enjoy effort, you need to have no input blocks. These are short periods where you do basic life stuff with nothing, no stimulation. This could be doing the laundry. This could be, cooking or cleaning your room. This could be taking a walk. All of the basic things you do on a day-to-day basis, just doing them without, music, without opening and checking your phone, without this constant noise. You see, once you eliminate the noise, you start to create space to be able to see your dreams, to see your visions and what you want to achieve so clearly that it becomes so clear what you have to do. When you eliminate this brain fog, when you remove this confusion and you create clarity by eliminating noise, you stop procrastinating. You can't procrastinate when there is so much clarity that you just always know what you have to do. Let me say it again. You can't procrastinate when there is so much clarity all the time and you just know what you have to do. And that is where systems come in. So you need these no input blocks. No inputs, no noise, nothing. Just you doing something. You could do nothing. You could sit down and literally just stare at the wall, or you could just take a walk, or you could do very basic things, but you don't want any inputs at all. And when you get the urge to do something, to have an input, to open your phone, to put on some music, you get the urge to just distract yourself. The time delay between you actually receiving the urge and taking action on the urge, that time delays everything. Urges have an expiration date. The urge that you feel right now is not going to be feeling the same in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, chances are the urge will completely dissipate if you don't act on it. If you have the urge, all you have to do is wait. All you have to do is just command your mind to push through 10 to 15 minutes of not succumbing to the urge. Now, this is going to break the loop by creating this time delay. Your brain starts to learn, okay, we have this urge and we don't immediately act on it. There is a time delay, there is a gap, there is no immediate feedback. So also break the loop by doing a physical action, like drinking some water, like going for a walk, like doing something. And the more you do this, the more you are training your mind to enjoy effort and actually not really enjoy the bad habits, the cheap dopamine. You're making the shift away from cheap dopamine and towards real dopamine. Now, when you start spending more of your time doing more tasks that align with where you want to go, which means removing those bad habits, removing those cheap dopamine hits, and eliminating all distraction from your life, and instead doing good habits, focusing, doing deep work, taking care of your health, exercising, going for a run, doing everything real dopamine, then your life will change. You will fix your discipline. You will fix your mindset. You will live such a good life because you are in control. You are finally in control, and that's so important. The feeling of being in control of your life is incredible. It's such an internal, intrinsic, biological feeling of purpose. That's why discipline is so valuable. It allows you to control your life, to control your habits, to control what you do with your time, your inputs, and as a result, it allows you to control your output. So task anchoring a rule before you start something is so important. Let me explain. You need to define a minimum stay time, and this aligns perfectly with flow state. For example, a minimum stay time means a minimum amount of time when you sit down to do a task that you stay without switching tasks, without, having distractions. So a 10 to 15 minute block at the start of everything, at the start of any task, where you are not allowed to switch tasks no matter what. No matter the urge, no matter how much you want to watch a YouTube video, no matter how much you want to switch and procrastinate and do something else to avoid the task that you have to do, you don't do it. You stick with the task. And what this does is it gives you enough time to enter the flow state. 10 to 15 minutes of no distractions is enough time to shift your brainwaves so you can start really focusing on one thing. So you can achieve that 100% focus instead of having 10% here, 10% here, 10% here. So try this. Set yourself a timer of 10 to 15 minutes where you're just not allowed to get distracted. And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna feel like you're resisting the grain, like you're resisting some type of urge, and you feel all this mental friction to actually doing the thing you have to do. But remember, as Chris Williamson said, the magic you're looking for is in the work you are avoiding. There's always a task that you are avoiding. There's always something that you push off for longer than you want. There's always some big thing that you procrastinate. And that is the thing. Once you do that thing, that hardest task, that work that you are avoiding, once you do that and get it out of the way, you are going to feel like this weight lifted off your shoulders. You are going to feel such immense mental clarity. And then once you do that, everything is going to change. Now let us do a stimulus audit. So take out a notebook just like this and write down stimulus audit at the top of the page. Every time you are working, whether that's 9 to 5, whether that's your own business, you need to actively notice how often you are getting distracted. And you need to write down what is distracting you. So at 5:05 p.m., I was working and then I got a notification and it was kind of loud. So I went, I felt the urge to go and pick up my phone and check, and I did, and then I ended up scrolling Instagram for 15 minutes. That is an example of something that commonly happens. Now, maybe I was sitting at my desk, I had to edit the video, my most important task, and for some reason, I felt the urge to go and open a YouTube video that I thought about earlier throughout the day. Or I was sitting at my desk, and I got an email notification, and I had to respond to the email. Or I had to do a certain task, and I was in a meeting, and the meeting went from 15 minutes and it just stretched out all the way to 2 hours. And at the end of that meeting, I didn't feel like doing the work. I was drained. Now there's always going to be something, any type of stimulus, any type of distraction that comes and tries to block your focus. But the moment you have awareness as to what that is, when it comes and all your time leaks, then you can write it down and study yourself. You are studying your mind, you're studying your distractions. And the nice thing is when you have all of your distractions on a piece of paper, you can work and focus on removing and eliminating at least one every single week. And as you chip away at your distractions, your focus begins to increase and your dopamine system begins to regulate, which is going to make the habits easy, the work easy, which is going to make it easy to build your dream life, the life that you don't need to escape from. And at the end of the day, most people, including you, know what you have to be doing. You know what you have to do to get to the next step. So it's not that you lack knowledge, it is that you just lack implementation, accountability, and guidance. Now, for most of my clients, the problem is consistency. If your discipline or initial momentum always seems to break after a certain amount of time, no matter how hard you try, and if you want help applying all of these strategies and receiving one-on-one guidance from myself, the systems that we use to make discipline, focus, and consistency very, very easy. Now, if you want help with all of that, then there is a link in the description below. Everything is explained over there, and remember, a bad workout always beats a skipped one.